let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
Stop! That's the signal! Go! 6! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
World, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by our good friends at Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com and the TuneIn app, great to have you dialed in on the Apple CarPlay or the Android Auto. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, start leaving your comments in the comment section, and of course follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Good morning, Ross Peterson.
What's up, buddy?
You dorky-looking, old-fashioned radio guy, you.
Here, does this help? If I hide the cord, does it make it look cooler?
Yeah, it does. It totally changes the game.
You just did it. That was it.
You totally just changed the whole perspective of the headphone game.
I'm just glad that they work. I had a nightmare last night. Like, I was laying in bed, you know those things you wake up at like 2 in the morning and your brain thinks of the weirdest things at 2 a.m. And one of the things at like 2 a.m. was, hey, those headphones that you set aside, they don't work. You're gonna plug those in tomorrow and not hear Travis, and you're gonna be running around in the morning. You're gonna have to turn off your microphone and listen to the. No, they work. They're fine. So glad to be here. Glad to be
going
listening
down a stupid rabbit hole. Just to let everybody know, this always drove me nuts about watching WKRP growing up because I never wore headphones on WKRP. So and that's where I was first exposed to radio. I'm like, I want to be on the radio by watching WKRP, right? Well, they never wore headphones. And I remember getting my first job in radio, and I'm like, you wear headphones? Why can't I hear the monitor? Well, you'd get feedback. But the more you do this career, you understand how important your headphones are to you. And headphones are a hot commodity. Probably, when you go to a place of business and you go to the fridge and the food is stolen, at radio stations, headphones are the most stolen commodity at a place. And people will invest hundreds of dollars.
There's actually one little piece of equipment that is like literal gold at a radio station, okay? And it is this tiny little adapter right here. That thing, that little piece of metal is worth its weight in gold in a radio station. They're about $2 if you buy a good one. And they go missing at an alarming rate in a radio station. So bad so that the engineers used to put rubber vacuum seals around them. I'm not lying, am I, Travis?
You're not.
They would put rubber vacuum seals around those little $2 parts to keep them attached so that people would, and you know what people would do? They would tear the rubber band and rip it off. All of them. Every one of them that was secured at the radio station was stolen.
And then WHO they wanted to make money off it, so they put up an old tampon machine.
They didn't want to make money. They wanted to make it so that they were there because people were constantly looking for them. So they bought in bulk, and then the engineers put an old tampon machine in one of the studios, and for $0.25, you could put $0.25 in the machine, turn the thing, and an adapter would fall out. And
with
then
the
guess
tampon.
What happened with those?
With the
They were
tampon.
gone.
Yes.
Yeah, with the tampon. With the
tampon
on it.
Yeah, well, here's a little string. It's easy to pull out.
It was a little plastic applicator. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, yeah. But so about a year ago, I turned Ross onto the headphones that I wear, which are over the ear they look more like earbuds. And I think we both agree these are the best pair of headphones we've ever owned.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're fantastic. Mine broke yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't know how that happened. And then I'm listening to Ross when we got off the air yesterday. He's on a customer service call with Shure.
Oh, were you listening to that?
Oh, yeah. I was listening to the whole
funny.
thing. I listened to the whole thing. And, I was a little disappointed in Shure because they're like, well, you got a 2-year warranty. You couldn't find your receipt. And I'm just like, this is where one of those cases where you just send us your headphones. We'll replace them. Because they're like $86, $100 headphones, and what would bring you back to Shure the rest of your life? We're using Shure mics.
Yeah, if they would play. Yes, yeah, and yeah, everything I have here is Shure. I've got I guess I Rodecaster.
Yeah. But hey, we had a crisis diverted this morning. I can say all is happy in the Justice household. My wife comes downstairs, and Ross knows this. He's been doing the show with me for several years and has never seen my wife really come down to the studio. She comes down, she goes, I lost my phone. And she took her sister to the train depot this morning. So Gretchen was in town, and she's taking the train back to Muscatine. So she'll get off in like Burlington or a town around there, right? And Anjanette thought for sure that her sister grabbed her phone when she got out of the car, and that phone was on its way to eastern Iowa. Well, we called Gretchen. It wasn't there. She goes, call my phone. She couldn't find it. And so she's panicking, can't find it because the little icon says, well, it's in the house.
So, yeah, you find my iPhone or whatever?
Yeah, find your iPhone, and it's in the house. Still couldn't find it in the house. I kept calling it, and I get a text. It was under the seat in the car. Okay. How a phone ends up under the seat in the car is beyond me, but that's where it was. That's where it was.
Dude, there's nothing more frustrating than like losing keys,
losing
your
phone.
Wallet. Yeah.
Phone, wallet, keys. What's more nervous to you? Keys, wallet, or phone?
Keys, because I'm always looking for them as I need them. It's like the kids are loaded up, and you're like, where are they at? They're not where they're supposed to be. Then you always find them.
And then you blame your kids. What'd you do with my keys? I know you can't drive, but what did you do with my keys?
I don't usually do that, but that's
funny.
I
do. When I lose my keys, I blame my wife. I blame my wife every single time.
I love that Gretchen takes the train from eastern Iowa to Omaha. My brain is, that seems like a fun, I would enjoy that. Dude from Iowa said, did I wake up in the 1850s? Somebody's taking a train?
Yeah. And it's because it's an easy line from Omaha to Burlington is a fairly easy trip. It cost her $29 one way. So, I mean, you can't drive it for $29.
No.
You know, so, and we've taken the train to Chicago a couple times. I like the Amtrak. And Ross, when you were in Europe, you took the train, and trains are fun. The problem with Amtrak in the United States is it's never on time. It is never on time. And if you want people to take the train, enjoy transportation like that, it's got to be an efficient system. And right now, it's just not an efficient system. So you kind of cross your fingers and you check the app all night. And already the train today was running about 45 minutes behind. I've seen it to where we were supposed to go to Chicago and Anjanette was actually supposed to go to Muscatine. It was 12 hours behind.
Oh, my God.
Because here's the little unknown secret about the Amtrak is that it has to yield to all Union Pacific and Burlington Northern trains because the freight trains have the right-of-way on the rails. And if there's a delay somewhere else, it delays everything else. And Amtrak has to take has to basically stop, wait, and do all that. So I've seen trains 12 hours behind before.
I'm so stupid. I thought they were two totally different lines.
I think most people think that, but they're not. I would like to do the California Zephyr, and I'd get on in Omaha. You could get on, I think, in Ottumwa and a couple other places. But take it all the way to San Francisco because I've heard the train through Colorado.
Oh, I bet that's amazing.
But you would have to get a sleeper car because picture a train. Have you ever been on an Amtrak?
Not really, no.
Okay, picture a Greyhound bus, and basically the seats are a little more comfortable, but people stink. I mean, people just stink. It's like you need a shower in the worst way. So when you get on a train, it's usually people who are out there for an adventure or just a lot of Amish people. A lot of Amish people ride the train. You'll get on like, wow, I had no idea there was this many Amish people. But that's the Amish people ride the train.
Okay, I'm so confused about. So the Amish can use some technology?
Well, they're not going to drive a car. They're most likely not going to fly in a plane. I think I've seen Mennonites and.
Well, why does the train? What?
I don't know. A train seems. I'm not Amish.
I'm not either. I'm going to ask AI, why can the Amish ride a train?
Guys got the beards. Women have the bonnets. And you just want to strike
dude,
it.
I put why can Amish, and the very first thing that popped up is ride trains. I'm not kidding. I typed up why can Amish, and it says ride trains, fly, use power tools, use diesel engines, use electricity, use batteries, hunt year-round, use electric bikes, and drive cars. Turns out Amish are just people.
It's funny how that works out, right? Because sooner or later, convenience matters. Sooner or later, convenience matters.
Amish are permitted to ride trains and other forms of public transportation because these methods are viewed as necessary for travel beyond their communities without requiring them to own a vehicle that could foster worldliness or disrupt their communal values. Trains, unlike private automobiles, can be used for travel without becoming a permanent or personal owner that could change their way of life and connections to their community.
Okay. That makes sense. Still wouldn't want to follow those rules.
I have a relative who
Is Amish?
what grew up Amish.
What? Really?
Yeah, grew up Amish. It's kind of a weird deal. My uncle got remarried, and her daughter had married this guy, Jacob. Awesome dude, man. Real outdoorsy guy, fisherman.
Hold on. What a perfect Amish name. Jacob. Jacob. That is an Amish name.
I've never had a chance to really talk to him about it. You know what I mean? I don't know much about that life or anything. He's a really fun guy. He's a great dude. He's not, you would never be like, you know how like some people you hang around them and you're like, man, there's something about that guy. And then somebody says, yeah, they were homeschooled. And you go, that was it. That's it. Yeah.
That was it.
That's it. I've never had that moment with Jacob where I was like, man, what? Wonder what his deal is. And then somebody goes, he's Amish. I go, oh, yeah. Grew up Amish. No, he's drinking beer, talking about fishing, travels the world.
If you decide to leave the Amish community, is there like are you like banned forever? Can you go back and see
that
people?
You are, Travis. I think that.
Really?
Yeah. There was a really good documentary about this. About the Amish youth, and they are. I think they are. I don't know. Yeah,
By the way, we're talking out of our ass right now, which is totally fine. Fine. I mean, does that really exist? I think it was a movie. I forget where you get like a year to go explore the world.
That's what I was thinking. I felt like there was something where it was like you need to go out.
Like the Mormons do their sabbatical, where they knock and tell the story of Joseph Smith to the rest of the world. Do the Amish get to go party for a year?
Dude, now I wish I wouldn't have Googled it.
Here's the rabbit hole. Here's the rabbit hole.
I remember it now. I saw the title and it all came back. The name of the documentary is The Devil's Playground.
Oh.
Yeah. I forgot about it. I'd blocked that one out for good reason. From the early 2000s, explores a period known as Rumspringa, a time when the Amish teens are allowed to experience, quote, the English world, its technologies and its temptations before deciding whether to commit to adult baptism and a life in the Amish community. Yeah. Some of the kids go, Nathan nails it, Rumspringa. Some of the kids go back, some of them don't.
If you're a former Amish, 515-517-2303, explain the lifestyle to us.
Patrick at Rumspringa.
So they do get a year. They get a year to go party. They get a year to play Xbox, year to drink tequila. Sounds fun to me. It's just everyday life for us. Everyday life. Is that considered a cult?
Boy, Trav. I mean, there's not really a leader. Isn't that one of the hallmarks of a cult?
Yeah.
Is that there's like a person that they're following?
Is there like a Mustafa where there's got to be somebody in the town that says, "Hey, we need to make more furniture."
That's true. There's got to be somebody that says, "This is where we go today." There's got to be like a leader, like a chief.
I don't know. Go ask Jacob.
Oh, I will. I should reach out to him and be like, hey, man, we had some questions about this. I've never really talked to him about it. And I know he'd be willing to talk about it. I'm sure he would be.
And we all do weird stuff. I mean, I'm sure the Amish look at us and go,
Oh, of
those
course.
normal, everyday people.
Yeah, and listen, they do a lot of things right.
Yeah. Can you imagine a world without social media?
Oh.
It would be awesome. Oh, each community has a bishop.
Oh, thanks, Scott. Okay.
I'm going to grow a beard. I could never grow the Amish beard. I couldn't do it. This is about as long as my beard gets. If I were to it doesn't get much longer than this. I cannot grow what you have on your face right now. I couldn't. I could barely accomplish. Like my brother-in-law Seth, in like 4 days, can grow this like massive beard. I'm kind of jealous of it. I'm like, not that I would have a beard, but it would be like if I could just grow really, really good facial hair.
Yeah, my buddy Josh is that way. He has the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Shaves in the morning, and in the afternoon, it's already.
Yeah, I don't have that luxury. Don't have that luxury.
He's my buddy he's my buddy that we genuinely think is in the CIA.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have 2 buddies in the CIA.
I can tell you what all of my friends do for a living. I can tell you what my group of friends, every job they've ever had. Every job they've ever had, I can tell you, my friends. Carl Sid started with Enterprise. Like, I can tell you all of their work histories. I've known this guy since we were in kindergarten. I know nothing about his professional life. I know he travels the world.
Is he an arms dealer?
I don't know. I genuinely, I'm dead serious. We don't know. None of us know.
Have you ever asked him?
Yeah.
And you get a vague answer?
You get, I work in commodities. I do importing, exporting. You're like, what? That doesn't mean anything.
Importing means you're a guns dealer. You're an arms dealer.
God. One time he's like, hey, he paid for like a golf tournament. He's like, everybody bring me a check and we'll be good. So I'm like, all right, where do I bring this check? He's like, come downtown, come to this corner, 7th and High. You'll see a parking lot on the corner of 7th and High. Pull into that parking lot, go into that office, tell him you're here to find me. So I do exactly what he says. I go into this office, I walk in, I'm like, hi, I'm here to see Josh. And the lady at the counter is like, who? She's never heard this name in her life. Who? I'm like, I pull my phone out and make sure I'm in the right spot. I'm like, man, he told me I was supposed to be here and I was supposed to come in and ask for him. And I'm not kidding. The lady's like typing on her computer and she goes like this. Oh, you're here to see him? Oh, hold on one moment. Not kidding. Phone rings. It's my buddy. I'm like, hey, man, I'm down in your lobby. He goes, hey, come out into the parking lot.
That is a little weird.
It's weird. He works for Vandelay Industries, as Kalen puts it.
Vandelay Industries. Oh man, yeah, that would keep me up at night. Like,
Studied he had 9 majors in college. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. You're like, he is just an absolute savant. Everything he does, he's good at. Everything he's tried, he succeeds at.
Ross, I'm going to use a line, and I'm paraphrasing here from one of my favorite movies of all time. It's John Cusack from Grosse Point Blank. Where'd you go? Well, I went to this Army recruiter, and I took a test, and I hit a certain psychological profile.
Dude, Grosse Point Blank is such an underrated movie.
100%.
Another great line from that. They're just driving down the road, and all of a sudden the dude goes, he honks the horn. Man, 10 years! 10 years! You didn't call! 10 years! Then he grabs on the wheel again. He's like, so how you been? He's like, I joined the CIA. I became an international assassin. He goes, oh, cool. Get good dental with that?
Because that was the guy that went to Drake. What's his name?
Jeremy
Stivens? Piven? Yes.
He's funny. He's funny. How do we not know his name? He's a funny dude.
He is. But Grosse Point Blank, if you've never watched Grosse Point Blank, Ross is right. One of the most underrated movies out there and one of the best soundtracks. It has an incredible soundtrack.
The really, really fun movie, man.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. And what's the girl in it? Is it Minnie Driver?
Minnie Driver was in it.
Man, she was so cute. So adorable.
Dan Aykroyd was in it. Funnier than hell.
Yeah, he plays the bad guy.
Yeah. A group of assassins. But that's the line I remember. I took a test and I was
fit
on
a certain psychological profile.
That's your buddy. That is your buddy, man.
Johnny C. Gross Point Blank is worth the time. It's a fun little
100%.
It's kind of like it's almost like a rom-com mixed in with this thriller mystery thing. It's because it is. You can definitely watch it with your wife.
Yeah, it's the moral gymnastics he does with his profession, and think like Bourne and some of these movies wrapped up into a comedy. You're like, how do you make killing people funny?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, dude. It's like it is kind of a Jason Bourne-esque,
but not serious.
Yeah, but he's still wrapped
serious.
up in the dilemma of his youth and life.
Yeah.
Because he had left Minnie Driver. They were supposed to go to like homecoming together, right?
And he never
showed up for the dance.
Showed
instead
up.
went and became a CIA assassin.
And for how many movies have been made about CIA assassins, you have to believe that people like this exist, right? There are people like John Cusack in Grosse Pointe Blank. There are people like Jason Bourne. I do believe that.
Yes.
Man. I never thought we'd bring up Grosse Pointe Blank this morning, but damn it, we did it. We did it. I had an interesting night last night. Pretty uneventful birthday yesterday. Matter of fact, I didn't even come home till like 8:30. I had to MC a big event last night where Oregon head coach Dana Altman and Creighton head coach Greg McDermott shared the stage. And it was a fundraiser for my son's old high school, Creighton Prep. But that was an interesting night, Ross, just hearing old stories from two coaches and fairly open and cracking jokes. It's fun to get coaches like that outside their element to where they're just like, you know what, it is what it is. And tell stories, but that was a fun night, and it got 1,300 people there last night. It was a big crowd, big crowd.
That's fun. Good for you. That's very cool.
But yeah, so
there was other news in the college basketball coaching world yesterday that kind of shook things up.
Well, it was funny because Nick Baugh, who's on Fox Sports 1 and NBC Sports, asked who is going to retire first, because we know that Greg McDermott has selected his coach in waiting, which is Alan Huss, and Dana Altman's getting up there. He's getting closer to 70, and he says, who's going to retire first? And Greg McDermott goes, Bruce Pearl.
Oh, that was last night.
Yeah, it was last night. He goes, Bruce Pearl, because they didn't want to answer the question. But yeah, that was the shocker we got yesterday was Bruce Pearl, head coach at Auburn, former Iowa assistant coach, and announces his retirement in this staged, I don't know if you saw the Twitter video. It was kind of bizarre. They had the spotlight on his desk, and he comes into the office, and he's looking around, and he sits down, and he starts penning and literally using a pen and paper his resignation letter. You know, they put this dramatic music behind it.
Dude, that video, the production value on that video.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-camera shoot. They've got it lit just perfectly. It's a 14-minute video. I got through about the first 45 seconds.
I'm with you. I'm like, okay, I know what he's going to do. I know what you're doing here. Just say that you're done.
Very dramatic. Very dramatic. It's like backlit. He walks in. Yeah, like you said, he sits down at the desk. He takes in his surroundings like it's the last time he's going to be in that office, soaking it in. Then he puts pen to paper and starts to write, but then puts the pen down and looks at the camera. One of the 4 cameras.
Talk about playing to a fan base and bringing out that emotion of, I love Auburn. I love Auburn so much that I'm quitting 2 weeks before practice starts. And I'm handing the job over to my son, who got a 5-year contract. I'm going to be kind of mean here because we saw the Bennett guy at Virginia do the same thing last year. I don't like the timing of this. I don't like with the way kids can transfer now, and all these kids could go. I don't know if these kids can go in the transfer portal or not.
I mean, right now they probably can't. Travis, they're probably all having the same conversation that you and I are having right now, which is, I can, but where do I go?
Yeah.
They backed me into a corner here. Now, you're at Auburn. You're a great basketball team. Chances are those guys are like, hey, we're the team. we're going to go out and win this thing. And they do know what's Bruce Pearl's kid's name?
Steve Pearl.
This is the
Steve
problem.
Steve Pearl.
Important lesson in life. Carve your own way. Create your own identity. Do not walk. It's okay to walk in somebody's path and footsteps and have a mentor. I don't like this thing of, I'm going to hand this job off to my kid. This is not something you bequeath. You don't get to inherit a million.
This is nepotism.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
Bruce Pearl is a great coach.
Great coach.
Great coach. Now, does he do things a little... Does he bend the rules? Well, he got a show cause. Let's not forget that he got a show cause. Let's not forget that he taped a phone conversation when he was at Iowa, turned that into the NCAA. But for all that, he's still a really, really, really good coach, taking Auburn to the Final Four twice. I just don't like this quitting, 2 weeks before the season when you have a team that is like fired up, knowing they're going to be good. And hey, guys, because I can leave right now, I can guarantee that my son gets the job. And that's what it looks like to me, is like, if I do this right now, they have no choice but to hire my son as the head coach, because who else is going to take the job?
Great point, too. How long do you think this was in the works then?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think you just wake up one day and say, I'm going to retire, right? But
you can't. You also can't let it leak. It's like they can't go to the players and say, hey, guys, this is what we're going to announce on Monday.
And you can't even go to your athletic director and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. You have to at some point, but, you've probably been thinking about it for some point. And then he's been pretty involved in politics. There's rumors out there that he may run for Tommy Tuberville's Senate seat. If you follow Bruce Pearl on Twitter, he's pretty outspoken about the Israeli-Palestine conflict. He's
Jewish, right?
He's Jewish.
Okay.
He's very pro-Israel. And so as of right now, he's going to be an ambassador to the athletic director at the University of Auburn, which means, hey, I get to keep my toe in the water, and if my son needs some help recruiting, I can do that. Yeah. Or he has a gigantic personality. If I'm an athletic director who needs to go raise money, I want Bruce Pearl on my team. I want Bruce Pearl out there going, hey, give us money, because he'll have that charisma. He'll have the ability to do that. It's just the timing of it just bothers me from a standpoint of, you recruited players, you said I'm going to be your coach, and then, right before practice starts in October, you're like, I'm out, boys. I'm out. But the difference here is Steve Pearl has been an assistant coach. He's been on the bench with his dad. These players know who he is, and there most likely won't be a big drop-off in what they expect, but it's still one of those.
There won't be not a drop-off in expectation, that's for sure.
No.
There's no drop-off in expectation. You better be one of the best teams in the country this year. And so now think about that from Stephen Pearl's perspective. Your first season as a head coach, you're supposed to be a top 5 team. If you don't make the Final Four in your first year as a head coach,
be like, thanks, Dad. Thanks for the job, and you set me up for huge expectations.
My initial instinct to this is if you made me put a bet on it, I would say this goes badly. Stephen Pearl is fired before he coaches those 5 years.
I probably wouldn't disagree with that. And then you also have to, because we talk about relationships on this show a lot and how much relationships matter. There are some jobs that are really, really good. Hell, North Carolina, which is a great job, went through a down period for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Until it was able to rebound. I don't know if I look at Auburn and go, boy, that's a great job. Bruce Pearl has made it a great job.
Made it right. That's a good point.
It takes the right person. Nate Oates at Alabama. Did you ever think of Alabama as a basketball power? No. Nate Oates comes in, and you're like, then talk about another guy who might bend the rules a little bit.
But, dude, again, back to that thing. Bring in the guy. It's the people. It's not the place. It's the people. I don't know. I didn't like the timing of it. For the players, I don't like the fact that he's handing it off to his son. And I think that it could be a bad thing, that this could end badly for Stephen. When Brian Ferentz was in line to take over the head coaching job at Iowa, I said the same things then. I didn't like the nepotism, and I think that it held back Coach Ferentz for a long time, having Brian on the staff. I really do. That he was resistant to making those changes, and then and then it ruined another relationship because the athletic director had to step in and say, "Hey, this isn't good enough. Your kid ain't cutting the mustard, man." And
he's had a chance,
and that might be, if they, and then again, leave Bruce Pearl's foot in the door. Leave Bruce Pearl's foot in the door, and now that's the same conversation is going to have to happen in the next couple of years. Hey, Bruce, Stephen ain't getting the job done, man.
We'll see.
We'll see. And I shouldn't root against him. I'm not rooting against him. It's just my instinct right now. My gut reaction is this won't end well. I was wrong about Jim Harbaugh. I thought the Harbaugh thing at Michigan would end horribly.
And for a little point, it looked like
it was gonna.
He reached the point where you got to take a pay cut because you're not beating Ohio State.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, it turned around. Now, he's got a 10-year show cause on him, so it's not like he's going to go back to
That's a good point.
college
Bruce
football.
Pearl, speaking of winning in college.
Yes. 515-517-2303. Good to have you along this morning on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
The end of summer means back-to-school shopping, new clothes, and school supplies. It also means the start of fall with all the incoming rain, rough roads, and eventual snow. For the month of September, we are offering a buy 3, get 1 for $1 on select tires, $10 off all wiper blades, and $25 off installs of new batteries. Tackle the seasons without hurting your pocketbook. Give us a call or schedule online at willisinfinity.com.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Of course, coming up on Friday, it's the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo. We want to tell you more about the Iowa Lottery. That's the Lottery Plus app. You can check your tickets to see how much you've won, check winning numbers, see current lotto and Instaplay jackpots, and join the Iowa Lottery VIP Club. Just go to your Apple Store or the Google Play Store, search the Iowa Lottery Plus, and you can download the app and get signed up today and make your lottery experience that much better with the Iowa Lottery. You know, we're talking about coaches. I watched the Curt Cignetti news conference yesterday. Of course, Indiana getting ready to take on Iowa this weekend, a game we'll be talking a lot more about as the week goes along. Kirk Ferentz is going to speak about the Hoosiers today. Matt Campbell is going to be speaking about Arizona. Curt Cignetti was on the dais yesterday. And have you ever just watched something and go, what did I just watch? You know, it's like...
A lot of times with Curt Cignetti.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was literally not... I'm like, okay, you say stuff, then you get out of a news conference, you go, he didn't really say anything. It was like diversion, right? I mean, you ask questions and you dance around the answers, give something that sounds good at the time, and you go back and listen to it, and you're like, he didn't really say anything there. He just diverted.
I feel like that's most coach press conferences, dude.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel like
they're a necessary evil. They're a necessary evil.
Are they necessary?
Yeah, because media members want to have that weekly conversation of, hey, can you talk about your opponent? Talk about the offensive line. Talk about your quarterback.
That's lazy. That's lazy. You need other people to tell you what to... That's lazy.
Well, because that's news, Ross. You
it's
need
not.
The point of view.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. No, it's not. You just proved it by saying, man, I watched this news conference and there was no news. I watched this press conference and there was nothing to press. We're just going through the ceremony. The guy gets up there and says nothing, and then that nothing gets written down and sent out, and we click on it and we read the nothing, and nobody ever stops to go, why are we doing this? All of this information that they would share is there 24/7. They have a Twitter account that they're sending the information out on. You're not going to ask some question and they're going to go, oh, man, yeah, you got me, dude. You got me. No, it's never happened in the history of ever. They're dumb. They're dumb. They're a waste of time. The media days in general are a total waste of time. Getting a coach to stand up on a Tuesday to talk about last weekend's game and this weekend's game is the most useless stuff ever. The best thing I've seen from a press conference lately was when a phone went off in Fred Hoiberg's press conference. And or did you hear that?
I did.
It's like a urology examiner, and the guy's like, "Oh man, that sounds like a big problem there." Funny. That's it. Tell me the last time something happened at one of those press conferences that was actually newsworthy.
Yesterday.
What are you talking about?
Yesterday, Mike Gundy had a news conference.
Okay.
And the reason, and it's not talking about this week's game with Baylor, it's talking about his job status, right? And I've got it. I mean, but that's about the most newsworthy thing that's coming, because the truth is everybody's talking about Mike Gundy's job status.
Yeah. But the news is Mike Gundy wants to keep his job?
Yeah, yes, very much so.
Do you hear yourself there? The news is a college football coach would like to keep his job. Wouldn't the news be if a guy didn't want to keep his job?
Tell you what, boys, wouldn't it be great? I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of getting up at 5 a.m.
Guys, quite frankly, I'm waiting for them to fire me. That's what I'm doing. I want to get paid to not do anything, and so I'm waiting for them to fire me. So if you guys could push that along, somebody could write that down and send that to the AD.
Just, as soon as they offer me that buyout check, I'm out of here, boys. That way I don't have to talk to you each and every week. That's not what Mike Gundy said. Here is exactly what Mike Gundy said.
I'm under contract here for, I think, about 3.5 years or 3.4 months. When I was hired here to take this job, ever since that day, I've put my heart and soul into this, and I will continue to do that until at some point, if I say I don't want to do it, or if somebody else says we don't want you to do it. So I don't mind addressing this question. I addressed it after the game, and this will kind of be the last time I address it. But it's a fair question, and the players have never come to me and asked me that. And I think that's maybe because what I've instilled in them from day one. Now, we do have a lot of new players, but I've always talked to them about, you signed up to be a college football player. I signed up to be a college football coach. These are the things that come along with it. Whether we like it or not, it's the way it is. Now, some things might be favorable and rewarding. Some things might be not so favorable and not so rewarding. But either way, that's what we signed up for. And so I think they see that. I think they know that with me. My demeanor, my daily operation, and I'm talking my personally, you asked me, never changes.
There you go.
That's a bad hair dye job. Wow.
Do you think he's doing like the testosterone? He looks pretty ripped.
Man, everybody's doing the testosterone now. Everybody.
When are you going to start doing the testosterone? When are we going to see ripped Ross?
I'm working out and eating healthy and doing things. I'm healthy. I feel good.
You're doing it the natural way.
Yeah, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm not out trying to win best bench press contest or anything. I don't. We'll see. We'll see. That is, again, there's nothing in that's news. If you would have asked me yesterday, hey, how do you think Mike Gundy would respond to this question? I probably would have said a lot of those words.
But I guess the difference is, and I'll push back on, and I agree with, two things can be true at the same time. Meaning, it can be a worthless afternoon, right? When we go listen, but there are times where, but if you want, hey, I'm doing a story on the offensive line, or I'm doing a story on your quarterback, I'm doing a story here, you do want a quote from said person or said coach to talk about the story you're doing. So two things can be true at the same time. It can be worthless, but it also can help you as you're writing your story or telling your story about whatever that topic may be.
Yeah.
But for the most part, do you really learn anything new from Matt Campbell on a Tuesday? Probably not.
No. The answer is no, 99% of the time.
If anything, they just reinforce the opinion you already have of said position or said coach.
I'm sorry. They tell you what they want you to hear.
It's propaganda.
Might be true, might not be. Propaganda can be true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they're all dumb. I mean, look, Bruce Pearl goes to retire. Does he do it as a press conference?
No, he does it as a Twitter video.
No. When you get a big recruit, do you do that? Do you announce that at a press conference?
No, you thank God.
It happens on Twitter.
You thank God, your family, and everybody else, and have some fancy company who's already made a graphic for you.
Right.
That's already sponsored.
top 5 team in the country just got a brand new head coach, Stephen Pearl. Was that announced at a press conference? No,
it was the end of the
Twitter.
video. It was the end of the video where his dad shakes his hand and his son assumes the throne in the basketball office.
Dusty asked a really good question about Oklahoma State because you talked about this the other day. Whereas Bruce Pearl took the Auburn basketball job and took it from, I don't want to say relative obscurity, but they certainly weren't where they are now. I mean,
I would agree
fair?
with you.
Is that fair?
Yeah, 100% fair.
But look at what Mike Gundy's done with Oklahoma State.
100%.
That's not a desirable position now.
Well, we kind of brought it up yesterday, and that was Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 the downfall or the exposure that Oklahoma State had. They rode the coattails of Oklahoma, and they were kind of, it's like a package deal.
Yeah, that's a
then
really
all of a
good
sudden,
word.
you're out on your own, and you become exposed for maybe what you aren't. And I think it's. Do I think Oklahoma State's a good job? I mean, Les Miles started there.
Wow, did he really?
Yeah, Les Miles before he went to LSU was the head coach at Oklahoma State.
Wow.
And they've had good players.
Oh boy!
Let's not forget Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders went to Oklahoma State. But do I think it's the best job in the Big 12 right now? No, I don't. Can you win there? Absolutely. You can. We've talked about you can win anywhere in the country. There was a point where they thought you couldn't win at Kansas State. Bill Snyder took that job, and guess what? They started winning at Kansas State. There's recent history. You can't win at Kansas. Lance Leipold takes the job. He starts winning at Kansas. Indiana. You can't win at Indiana. You don't know your spot in Big Ten football. Kurt Cignetti takes the job. They go to the college football playoff. You can win anywhere in the country. But as you brought up, Ross, winning today is different than it was 5 years ago. It's winning than it was. There's still relationships, but it's still going to take money. And we were talking, Virginia Tech just fired its football coach. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, what does Virginia Tech want to do?
Oh, boy. Throw some money at the problem, baby.
Throw some money at the problem.
Their newest thing, Travis, do you have this up in front of you? Because I've got the article here. Virginia Tech proposes adding an extra $229 million to their athletics budget. Wait, these colleges are all broke, right? This is the ACC. This is the conference that we all talk about is getting lapped. They don't have the money everybody else does. This is a decent team in the ACC. In fact, right now they're bad. They're 0-3. They just fired their coach. In a bad conference, the worst team is going to throw $229 million additional dollars into their athletic budget. In the ACC right now, the top 3 budgets for just football alone, currently they're at $41 million, which is 14th.
Out of 17.
Out of 17 teams. Clemson is number 1 at 67.8. Florida State is number 2 at 61. And North Carolina, and I apologize, Travis, North Carolina is at $48 million. I misspoke there. Their athletic budget is 14th in the conference. Their football budget is 4th. So the top 4 football budgets in the ACC are Clemson, makes sense. Florida State, makes sense. North Carolina, with Bill Belichick, and now Virginia Tech.
And they want to throw more money at it because money's going to solve the problem. Or at least they think it is.
To reach the $229 million goal, the school is looking to raise $120 million in new funding. That'd be the fans. Institutional support and bridge funding will make up the bulk of the remaining $109 million.
That would be taxpayer money.
There you go.
So the people are going to pay for this one way or another. But when you hear, I mean, Jamie Pollard has always believed you can win at Iowa State, and he's winning at Iowa State.
He's right.
And you can win. To say you can't win a national championship at Iowa is just wrong. It's just the approach you want to take to it. You can win anywhere in the country. Takes the right people, build the right relationships. It does take. We'd be foolish not to think it doesn't take investment. It does.
Yeah, well, and to get the right people, you got to have the resources to get those people.
Yeah.
And to keep them. You can get the right guy, and then he can bounce because somebody else is going to realize that he is the right guy, and they're going to pay him the money he's worth. But, man, if you are the Virginia Tech coach that just got fired.
But you know what their comeback would be? You had the fourth highest football budget in the ACC.
And you couldn't win with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You're right.
Money, drugs, and guns. No, what's the is that a Lauren Zevon song?
It's the money, drugs, and lawyers.
Okay, money, drugs, and lawyers.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I just added the guns part of it. While we're talking about the ACC, they finally joined the rest of major college football, Ross. They approved a 9-game conference schedule. You know, the Big Ten and the Big 12 have been doing this for a while. The SEC earlier in the year said, okay, we're going to go to a 9-game schedule. And now the ACC yesterday approved a 9-game schedule. Part of it will start in 2026, and it'll be full in 2027. I think in 2027, like one team gets, because of the 17 teams, there's that oddity there. So one team will play eight games. They're going to protect some of the non-conference rivalries because you still have to play the Power 4 schools as part of that. And I think you're still going to have Florida and Florida State. Clemson, South Carolina are still going to play each other. Kentucky and Louisville are going to be playing. And this is where they need to go to Notre Dame and say, listen, we appreciate you get the benefits of the ACC and every other sport, and you're committed to playing 5 ACC football games. We need an 18th team. It's time for you to jump on board.
Yeah. That's the easiest solution. As soon as you started this, I'm like, well, add an 18th team.
And that 18th team is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And the truth, maybe Notre Dame holds all the power. Because you want to be associated with Notre Dame, I get that. But if the ACC said, listen, it's all or nothing, seriously, we're at a point to where it's all or nothing because we need 18 teams for this football league. You get to enjoy the benefits of basketball and all these other sports. It's either you're in or you're out. Who holds the power, Notre Dame or the ACC?
Notre Dame.
Because football pays all the bills.
Yeah, and again, Notre Dame's in a position where they don't need the ACC. They're doing fine by themselves. They've got a really good system set up. They're in a good spot. I think they are. I think Notre Dame is still in a really good position if they can just win these games.
Yeah. Do we think Notre Dame's in a good position? Because we are told that Notre Dame's in a good position. There's got to be truth in what we're told a little bit, though, because you can't survive this long in today's landscape.
And I think if Notre Dame didn't think they were in a good position, they would make a move. They've had the opportunities. They could probably still pick. If they wanted to join a conference, I feel like Notre Dame could literally have the pick of the litter.
Yeah, 100%. The Big Ten would take... you there, Ross? The Big Ten would take Notre Dame. The SEC would take Notre Dame. The SEC would take Notre Dame. Ross disappeared on us, but he'll be back. I'm confident in that. But yeah, so that's an interesting part. What can we expect from the ACC going to a 9-game schedule? That was you, it wasn't me.
I know, dude. Don't know what happened. Just popped up and said, I lost the internet.
You had the lapse in fiber. What this is going to do, though, expect now maybe some expediency when it comes to the college football playoff. Meaning now that you have, because the Big Ten's been holding out on this, right? And I think they wanted all these Power 4 conferences kind of on a level playing field. So it took the Big Ten to say, we're not going to get on board with your 11-5 model. We want to go to 22 or 24 teams. But now that the SEC has fallen in line and said, okay, we'll go to a 9-game schedule, and they went kicking and screaming. And now the ACC, who just a couple months ago was like, well, we're not sure about a 9-game schedule, they fall in line. I would expect some movement now in the next month, 2 months, on what that college football expansion, whether that's 16 teams, whether that's 24 teams. There's a larger political play at stake here when it comes to the expansion of 9 games. Because now you can say, okay, we're all playing 9 games. We've all agreed to play other Power 4 non-conference games. Now we think the schedules should be somewhat even when it comes to that. You're comparing apples to apples, maybe, or closer to it. Would you agree with that? That
yes.
We'll see some movement?
Yeah, I think that you're right, Travis. This could be the start of another little round of reshuffling.
Yes.
Not nearly as bad. I think that we're pretty close to what this is going to look like for a long time. Don't you agree that we're?
Well, I mean, as far as conference alignment, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For maybe the next 10-year period or so, it should settle into this.
All we have to do is decide what the expanded college football playoff looks like, if that stays at 12, if it goes to 16, if it goes to 24, if it goes to 28, whatever that is. But we've kind of lost connection. That's kind of dropped off because the Big Ten said, we ain't moving until something happens. Well, something's happened.
I want to share Sean's comment here, and then let's talk about this for a second. Because I've heard this a lot from people. Geographic divisions while maintaining rivalry games. It's coming because costs are increasing. We keep hearing those California schools complaining about this, right? Saying, man, we didn't realize what we'd signed up for. We can't afford this.
I don't agree with Sean.
I want to say, Sean, I love the idea. I wish you were right. I think it's moving the other direction. And I think it's going to move that direction for a while. And I'm not disagreeing with Sean that would be better for college football. It'd be better for the expenses of everything. We could keep costs down on this stuff. Wouldn't have to have $229 million athletic budgets while tuitions are going up. This is insane. They should, but they're not gonna. There's too much carrot dangling out there with those television contracts and these big conferences. And everybody is looking at it the same way. They're like, man, if we can consolidate the power, we can corrupt it.
Hear me out. And I think really when it comes to the Big Ten, Oregon, UCLA, and USC need the Big Ten more than the Big Ten need those schools. They're like, you want to come along for the ride, you're invited. But we're not going to feel sorry for you with your travel schedule. They're just not.
That's true. That's a good point, Trav.
And the SEC and the Big Ten aren't giving up power until they absolutely are dethroned. I mean, and I don't see a time when that's happening. Now, I agree with Sean, and it would be nice in other sports. It would be nice if you just said, hey, we'll keep football the way it is because that's where the money's coming from. It would be nice like in softball and baseball and soccer that Oregon didn't have to travel to Penn State. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Football, basketball, I don't feel – these guys are rolling in cash. Yeah. So 515-517-2303. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. Thanks for tuning in this morning on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, zero sugar, zero caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
School is back and summer vacation is over. With a year of school activities and drop-offs ahead, your tires are going to be working as hard as their students. Staying on top of regular maintenance like tire rotate, balance, and alignment is key to increasing the life and performance of your tires. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school special $199.95 tire rotate, balance, and alignment to help you stay rolling. So give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Tuesday, everybody. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you for bringing us into your car on the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We like subscribers to the Rush Radio YouTube channel. Give this video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. Follow us on X at Rush Mornings. Like our Facebook page, The Rush with Travis and Ross. And you can follow us on Instagram, The Rush Radio Show. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Did you change clothes during the break?
No. Went down and got the kids up.
Get up.
I think I changed. Let
It
the
does.
dog out.
For some reason, I'm like, did you change clothes?
Oh.
No. Now you're putting on your socks. You're putting
That's what
on
I
your
just did.
shoes.
Yeah. Put on my socks. Ready to go.
Maybe that's what it was. I saw you putting on your socks. I'm like, God, did he change? I didn't even notice. Was I not paying attention to Ross during that?
I was all barefoot through the day, through the show. First hour.
Barefoot. Do you like being barefoot?
I love it.
I'm a flip-flop wearer. Like I wear flip-flops a lot. Not slides. I have it's not
Thongs?
a thong. Is it a thong?
Sure. It goes between your toes.
Yeah, but see, when I think of thong now, I'm like wearing a thong bikini or, and I got it.
Yeah, but we used to call those thongs.
We
didn't
did.
We? Yeah.
We did. And then the underwear took its place.
Did you see, you probably don't because you don't follow this stuff. I'm on a few Camino Facebook pages. A dude just walked the entire Camino wearing Croc flip-flops.
Now, you've done that. How hard would that be?
Apparently, the guy, his wife wrote it and was like, I can't believe I'm posting this. My husband walked the entire Camino in his Croc flip-flops and had no blisters the entire time.
You know what? Whatever you're comfortable in. I mean, now, did he walk the Portuguese route or did he walk the France route?
It was the route I took, the Portuguese coastal. So 180 kilometers, something like that.
You're gearing up for your...
Oh, no. Now we lost Trav. What the hell is going on today? I saw a bunch of you posting that MetroNet was having some problems yesterday. Travis has entered the studio. There's Travis again. Let's remove that. Travis, what the hell is happening?
And I've got full bars. That is really weird that's happening.
Yeah, and mine did the same. Mine like popped off and instantly it was like, you want to rejoin? Yeah.
Hold on. This is bothering me.
Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Oh, thank you.
Man, and Mike says I didn't pay we both didn't pay our CIA dues.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mentioned my buddy earlier. He probably just was giving me a little tap on the head.
Wow.
Like, hey, don't do that.
I got a question for you. Just got a question for you.
Okay, fire away.
When it comes to all professional athletes out of Iowa State, what comes to your mind? Like who stands out?
What a great question.
Yes.
All right, right away, the first things that came to my mind were George Niang, Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
There's Seneca Wallace, David Montgomery.
So Montgomery comes up, and I wanted to bring up David Montgomery. Because David Montgomery last night was incredible for the Lions. He had 151 yards on 12 carries. He scored 2 touchdowns. And you just sit there and go, for as much accolades as Brock Purdy gets.
Oh, I didn't even mention Brock. Jesus.
Yeah, you didn't mention Brock Purdy. I'm like, where? I mean, the Lions, their ability to run the football last night against the Ravens was wow. I mean, I think they went for 200-plus yards against the Ravens. Again, David Montgomery, 12 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I'm just sitting there thinking this morning, and there's going to be Iowa State fans who get mad at me, but I was like, does he get the Iowa State love like some of these other guys?
Oh.
Or is it because he doesn't have the personality of a Halliburton? He may not have the personality of a George Niang.
But so the basketball football thing might not be an apples to apples comparison.
And that's fair. That's fair. I can concede that.
So I think the answer to your question is yes. I think that he does get a lot of Iowa State fans still post about him, love on him, like they do with George and Tyrese. I see a lot of it with Brees also. Brock, obviously. I mean, I can't believe I keep forgetting that. Brock should have been number 1 on the football list. He's the one that
should have been. But David Montgomery of Brees Hall, of Brock, and Brock Purdy's had a decent career, a good career. But David Montgomery's been a beast.
Well, and I do think there's a little bit of the I know it's unfair to say, but there's a little bit of the out of sight, out of mind thing with Brock. He hasn't played the last couple of weeks, and he's hurt.
True.
And so I think that's for some reason in my mind, he just fell down as I was just rifling through those names that would pop into my head. Yeah, I think Brees Hall gets the same, and I think he's got a great personality, dude. Do you remember when they were doing the? Somebody's going to remember what his name was. A local TV station went to cover one of the things that the Cyclone football players were doing, like in the community, and a reporter grabbed David Montgomery and interviewed him. And then when they asked him, hey, by the way, what's your name? So he said, Chuck Bruce. And so David Montgomery was on the TV screen with the chyron underneath it saying, Chuck Bruce, Iowa State football player. Thank you. Charlie and Mike both remembered Chuck Bruce. And Charlie says he just doesn't like that spotlight thing. And that's
probably and that's where when you don't like the spotlight, when you kind of shy away from it, you become almost out of sight. And
a little bit.
Yeah. Because they were talking about Charlie Kohler played last night. I mean, Iowa State's got some guys in the league. But maybe the best in the league right now is David Montgomery. He was with the Bears. He's been with the Lions. The dude is a flat-out beast.
Brees had a great start. Not this year, in his career. And that could work out to something. Dude, depending on what happens here with Mac Jones, Brock Purdy's looking at a really good career. He's had the first couple of steps of having a really nice career. Maybe great career.
But what has he been plagued with even in his first 3 years?
Those injuries.
Yep. Injuries are, and that's what, and David Montgomery's been injured at times, but he's been able to bounce back from those injuries. And he's playing the hardest position there is in the NFL to have a long career. I mean, running back is, what I didn't know, which is really cool, David Montgomery came back and he got his degree from Iowa State in spring of 2025, Ross.
Oh, really? Very cool.
Yeah. And his dad's still a big fan, and he made that promise to his mom to get his college degree, and he came back and he finally graduated in the spring of 2025, which is really cool. But yeah, you look at the game that he had last night, and you go, this guy's amazing. Now you bring up names in the Chuck Bruce name. You brought up something that I didn't know about that I thought was interesting, and I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I've seen Deion Sanders,
I wonder where you're going. I love it.
I've always looked at Deion's name and go, it's a weird spelling of Deion, but whatever. I mean, everybody to each his own. Come to find out, you told me this morning that Dion spells his name incorrectly.
Spells his own name wrong. Has for years, has his entire life, and it causes some serious problems, and everybody will understand. If you've ever made a mistake buying an airline ticket, like I did one time, when I misspelled my own middle name, it becomes a problem. When you get to the airport, Nate Bargatze has a great bit about this, right? Where his real name is Nathaniel. Some people call him Nathan, but he goes by Nate. And when he goes to check into an airplane, they always say, hey, this isn't you. Your passport and your, because you have 3 names. Deion Sanders has this exact same thing happen. Here's why. He spells his name like the old McDonald's song. And he told the Kelsey brothers, that's exactly what he said to the Kelsey brothers. He said, all right, we've all learned this song when we were little kids. If I say the first part, you've got to finish the second part, okay? Old MacDonald had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
He blames that song because he spells his name D-E-I-O-N. E-I-O.
Which is weird.
It is
I've always
weird.
thought it was
It's
weird.
Dion.
Yeah, I'm like, every time I type it out, I'm like, this just doesn't make sense.
On his birth certificate, it is D-I-O-N. So he spells his own name wrong. His birth certificate and therefore his passport say D-I-O-N.
Probably his driver's license too then, right?
No, his driver's license says D-E-I-O-N, and this is where the problem comes in airports, Trav. I'm trying to find the part here in the article where he says, Deion Sanders previously said on the Rich Eisen show it gives him troubles at airports sometimes because the driver's license shows the correct legal spelling of his name, which doesn't look right to... Okay, so when he buys a ticket, he puts the D-E-I-O-N. When he gets to the airport and he shows his license, it's D-I-O-N, like you were saying. Quote, then I have to show credit cards to a company that when I go through the airport, I go back to the front desk and they say, this is not your name. I just look at them.
I'm prime time. Do you not know who I am?
He says he doesn't even answer to Dion these days. Those who know him call him Coach Prime or Prime, not Dion. His children also spell their names like their father. Deandra is the oldest daughter. I did not know this about Deion Sanders. I did not know this. He went George Foreman.
Keep going.
His daughter's name is Deandra. Dion Jr. is his oldest son, but Sanders' middle son, Shiloh, has a middle name with a certain spelling, according to records. It's Dion, D-I-O-N.
I don't even think about that. I don't even go by Dion anymore. It's Coach Prime
or just Prime.
Why doesn't he go full Ocho Cinco? And he's got a lot of money.
Yeah, true.
You can legally change your name to the correct spelling
to what you want it to be,
and you can legally change it to Prime. If he wanted to, he could petition, go to court, go. I'm going to call myself Prime.
Tank says, you never go full Foreman. Thanks, Tank. That's a good line.
Didn't Chad Johnson fully change his name legally to Ocho Cinco?
Ocho Cinco, yeah.
Who was the basketball player? World Be Free?
Oh, no. Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace, but...
Yeah.
Was World Be Free a real name, or was that did they legally change that?
Who's World Be Free? What's that? I don't know that one.
I'm dating myself.
Ron Artest changed his name to Meta World Peace. There were, remember the basketball player Mark Jackson? He had Tourette's syndrome, and he changed his name to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. He was Muslim.
Yeah. So... World Be Free, and this is showing my age because I did turn 55 yesterday, refers to the professional basketball player Lloyd Bernard Free. And he changed his name from Lloyd to World B in 1981.
I love it. I love it.
If you were to change your name, what would you change your name to?
Man, I like Ross.
And I like everybody, because you know how many people ask me, what's your real name? What do you mean, what's my... Well,
Travis Justice does sound like a made-up name. It sounds made up.
You know me. I'm not that smart or creative.
Real. I know it's
no,
real.
But you know I'm not that smart or creative to come up with a broadcast name that's Travis Justice. I'm just not.
Yeah.
World be free.
Yeah, I like Ross. We've talked about this. Don't meet many Rosses. Most of the time when I meet, if you do meet somebody and they'll tell you, oh, I know another Ross.
Charlie wants to know if my middle initial is T after Buford T. Justice from
Smokey
that's what
the Bandit.
That's
from. Okay.
But no, I'm my middle initial is K.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jason corrected me. It was not Mark Jackson. It was Chris Jackson who changed his name. I was thinking it was Mark Jackson was that guy's name. He was an interesting fellow, dude. He had Tourette's. Played for the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, yeah,
really good basketball
on the
player.
court.
Yeah, he had like the little twitchy thing about him.
Shit,
yeah, he was a good ball player, man.
Shit.
I don't think he had the cussing. I don't know what. I don't think he had the cussing side.
Ross. To me, anybody that has Tourette's has the cussing part of it, okay? I'm stereotyping here, but let me have that vision, that thought in my head that if you have Tourette's, you can just say shit whenever you want.
Yeah.
And be forgiven for it.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's the South Park episode that I like when Cartman got Tourette's.
I didn't ever care for the movie Deuce Bigalow. You ever see that one?
I remember it.
There was a deal. He goes on a blind date with a girl, and it's Amy Poehler, and she has Tourette's. So he takes her to a baseball game so that she can scream all the obscenities, and people just join in on it.
Oh, man. If I change my name, this is a guilt factor. Like I look at World Be Free. I look at Deion Sanders. Meta World Peace. Chad Johnson. And Chad Johnson's a pretty generic name, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I would be letting my parents down.
Yeah.
It would be one of those things where, okay, I may not like the name, but my parents took the time to, I look at it when raised me, but I don't know how much you sweated or thought about Audrey's name or Eli's name, but it's like, if Eli came to you and said, you know what, Dad, I don't want to be Eli anymore. You'd be like, man,
yeah,
you're Eli to me. I'm always going to call you Eli. I'm not going to call you David.
Yeah. I always think it's weird when kids call their parents by their names.
Oh, that's not allowed in my house. It is not allowed in my house.
Eli's girlfriend calls her mom by her name. And I heard it the first time, and I was like, Eli, is that her mom? It's like, yeah, this is what they do. I'm like, wow.
I have to accept it because they're not my kid. It's not my, but I leave the said house when I hear that with total judgment. I am judging you.
This is a fun conversation. The things that you judge people on. Because like my buddy Adam Bent, I think about this often, okay? My buddy Adam Bent, and whenever I am changing the garbage can in the bathroom, you know what I mean? The little garbage can that you have next to your toilet that's for when you blow your nose. You know what I mean? Everybody has that little garbage can there, right? Do you have a little garbage can next to your toilet?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just disgusting.
Do you keep a sack? Do you keep a liner in it?
Yes.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, the only reason you go to the grocery store is so you can get the plastic bags to be your liner. Absolutely.
Yes. I got one right here. So my buddy Adam Bent, that's one of his things. If he comes to your house and you don't have a liner in the in the toilet trash can, he judges you. I think that's really good. And every time I change mine, I think of that. I go, yeah, Adam would like it here.
I just looked over and somebody called. Doug called, and I didn't notice it, so he hung up.
Sorry, Doug.
Doug, I apologize. I wasn't paying attention to the call screener. If you want to call back, I will take your call at 515-517-2303. Yeah, but and Mike says, Travis, you judge people before you meet them? That's not new. But there are certain things that are out of your control, but you just find really, really
It's
weird.
just strange. I don't judge. I don't think it. I just go, that's different.
Yeah. I would have nipped that. You don't get to call me. If Owen came to me and said, Travis, I'd be like, dude,
no,
I'm your
no.
dad.
And do you call Ann Jeanette mom in front of the kids?
Oh, this is yes. And it bothers her. She's like, I'm not your mother. I'm like, I know, but I'm using that so the kids call you mom and they know who I'm referencing to. I'm not your mother. And she hates it when I call her mom, and so I do it even more.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
Really?
Yeah. I thought Ann Jeanette would be the type of person that would like hear that word as a loving embrace of affection.
Absolutely not,
dude.
Absolutely not.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I would say as we get later on in life, the more I do that, the worse it gets. Because when they were babies, I go, go to your mother, or go to mom.
Yeah.
Now I call her mom, and she's like, don't do that.
I think that Tyler has the good. Can you just start calling her grandma now?
I did that the other day.
How'd that go?
She's fine with that because you got the grandbaby there, and she's on cloud 9, and she's like, she's really not listening
She
to
can't
anything
be upset
I say
with you when she's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're way beneath her at that point. She's flying high.
Because we had the great Ann Jeanette's mom was here the other day, and she's a great grandma now, right? And so I was kidding around the baby, and I said, "You want to go to grandma?" And so I walked by her mom, and Abigail goes, "Hey, you skipped grandma." I said, "No, I'm going to grandma." And she goes, "Oh," and this is Abigail going, "Oh, mom's a grandma now."
Mom's grandma now.
Just kind of falls right into that. But yeah, Dion. Just change your name. If it becomes a problem, if you have a problem in an airport, just petition the court to say, I'm going to change my name.
I think it's pretty easy. I mean, you got the money.
Not a problem at all. At all. So, you see the Padres? Have you been following baseball at all?
Not a lot, dude. No. Weirdly enough. No. Not enough. What's going on with the Padres?
Well, I mean, the Padres locked up a playoff spot last night, but I got to think, we're in, the last week and a half of the season, right?
That's got to be. Yeah, we're real close.
Are you ready for this? The AL East is not wrapped up yet. The AL Central is not wrapped up yet. The AL West is not wrapped up yet. And the NL West is not wrapped up yet. We have some close divisions here. And usually this is the time we start getting in baseball mode. And, I saw, and the only reason I paid attention to the Padres winning last night over the Brewers in 11 innings is because Owen was at the game in San Diego. He texted me and goes,
nice.
Hey, now I'm going to text him today and go, did you stay for all 11 innings? Did you see the walk-off? Did you see the Padres clinch their 4th playoff spot in the last 6 years? Tell me how good of a fan you were. But then I just started looking at, who's made the playoffs. But there are some close divisions that are still up for grabs that could go into this last week. Toronto's already clinched a playoff spot, but they only have a 2-game lead on the Yankees. Boy, Yankees have made up some ground, haven't they? They were down like 7 games month and a half, 2 months ago.
And need a few more wins to secure a playoff spot. I mean, they're certainly in the driver's seat for one of those wild card spots, and as you say, only 2 games back in the East, so they could still even win that division. Cubs have locked up a playoff spot. They will end the year with one of the best records in baseball, despite having kind of a weird summer. Real hot start, got down to the Brewers quite a bit, and then have climbed back into it and maintained. If you're a Cubs fan, you got to be really happy that they didn't run out of talent coming down this backstretch, because that's usually what happens with teams like this. It takes a while to go to build that team, and maybe that's just where we are with this Cubs roster right now. Right now, they're a playoff team. Make a few more changes, and now you've got a real contender on your hands in a couple of years. That's awesome that they've locked up a playoff spot. Is most of the National League secured, I believe, right?
The NL West, the Dodgers are in and the Padres are in, but the division hasn't been wrapped up yet. So you still have and that means a lot. You'd rather be a division winner than a wild card team. So yeah, that hasn't been wrapped up yet. But I didn't know if you were getting in baseball because I haven't gotten baseball.
Not, dude. I need not at all. I don't know, and I wish I could tell you what's going on with that. Yeah, and Tyler, you're right. The third wild card is still open in the National League, so there's still one playoff spot available in the NL. And in the American League, the only team that has locked up a playoff spot is Toronto.
They're the only team is. Only team is locked up the play. That's how close the wild card is. Wow,
yeah, that's secured a playoff spot. Even they haven't locked up the division. They're the only team guaranteed to make the playoffs right now in the American League.
That's great. Meaning we should be dialed into to the American League like every night. The intensity that is going through and the pressure on those teams, knowing that you're that close to the playoffs.
There are 6 teams within 2 games of each other.
So you got the Yankees, you got the Red Sox, you've got
the Tigers, the Guardians, the Mariners, and the Astros. All are between 84 and 88 wins.
Wow. Crazy. And we're still not in the mood yet. Maybe the playoffs will put us in the mood. I hope it does.
This is a good line. I'm sorry. I don't know who fake Bob Vanderplots is, but can we all agree nobody watches or follows baseball except for boomers and divorced moms for the uniforms?
He called back 515-517-2303. Doug, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, Doug?
Good morning, guys. I appreciate your show. I don't want to sound negative or crass or blunt. I appreciate all the stuff you're talking about, but I'd love to hear your analysis of the Hawkeye-Indiana game this weekend. I know you did a little bit earlier this week, but I want to know reasons for why you think the game's going to, go the way you think it might go. I'm having a hard time getting a pulse on it. I don't really know which way it's going to go. I mean, certainly Indiana beat the hell out of Illinois, so one's got to think. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts.
Doug,
apologize for being blunt.
No, Doug, we love this, man. Love it.
And I mean, we look at it. We do say we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well, but we'll answer. We love this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Doug, as a Hawkeye fan, man, I'm really worried about this weekend. I see what Indiana, and I've said this many times, I fall into that trap of what I just saw, I think I'm going to see forever. And what I just saw is Iowa struggle against a Rutgers team that was not at full strength. And I also saw an Indiana team that looks like they are a locomotive running downhill. They can throw the ball, and that's that passing game to me is what's really going to be the difference maker, because the Iowa secondary has not played as well as they need to. They absolutely have to play. They're going to have to play the best game of their season so far. Mark Gronowski's going to have to continue to play better every week. This week he's going to have more. I mean, so let's start on the defensive side of the ball for the Hawks. They have to have a better secondary. I think that the Hawkeyes can control that Indiana running game. I'm worried about what's going to happen through the air, Trav.
But let's not forget they also ran for over 300 yards on Illinois, which is a pretty stout defense.
Right.
Or what we thought was a stout defense. Yes.
They can move the ball, and that scares me because I don't think that this Hawkeye offense is built to, even though they just won a shootout, it was against that banged-up Rutgers team that still threw for, how many yards did they throw for 300 too? No, they didn't throw for 300 and run for 3. No. It's Indiana. I'm sorry.
Indiana.
Yeah. So I am worried about that. Offensively for the Hawks going against this Indiana defense, control
that's the
line
question
of
mark.
Scrimmage, pound the rock, control the clock is what it's going to have to be.
Here's what worries me about Indiana is that none of us were taking Indiana seriously because they'd, up until Illinois, had played powder puffs. I mean, they're non-conference. I mean, Indiana State. I mean, it's just they weren't playing anybody. So you're like, they're setting themselves up. But then they play Illinois, and they kick the crap out of them. But my brain now defers to, well, how good's Illinois? We were told that Illinois was supposed to be good. We were told that they're the number 9 team in the country. Number 9 team in the country, I don't care even if you lose, you don't get beat 63-10.
Yeah.
You're not the number 9 team in the country if you get beat 63-10. So now my brain tells me, Doug, is that, and to justify it, well, Indiana's win was impressive, but Illinois is not that good. And I just want to assume that Iowa's better than Illinois. I want to assume that Kinnick is better, or is a tougher place to play.
Yeah, and I think those are, well, okay. Iowa's not better than Illinois.
Let me think that. Iowa hasn't been beat 63-10.
And I have a hard time even saying that, but I'm just looking at, they were ranked number 9 by some independent people that are just looking at the grand landscape of college football, and Iowa's not in the top 25.
I mean, why was Illinois ranked number 9 in the country this year? Because they won 10 games last year, and they had a lot of people coming back. And so you automatically, you assume a certain position where people are going to say, well, we're going to put them there because they earned that. There's a reason they fell way back to 19.
Go ahead, Doug.
So, real quick, in a summation of all this information, Illinois being overrated, is Indiana really a big boy? I mean, I totally misread the Rutgers game because I thought, honestly, Rutgers were going to beat Iowa.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah, I didn't know about the injuries that Rutgers had, but I thought that Iowa was going to lose that game. So I just don't know which way to think. I don't mean to interrupt you. I appreciate your down.
Hey, Doug, I'm going to tell you something. Never apologize, okay? You never have to apologize to us. Never, okay? We're glad you called. That's why the phone line's there. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We love that. Yeah. Never. Yeah. Listen, this is the coffee club. If you got something you want to talk about, call in. We'll talk about it.
I mean, if Iowa wins this game this week, and it's a big if, it's all on the defense. Because Iowa's not going to get into a scoring match with Indiana. That ain't happening.
I can't imagine this game's a 42-35 game.
Yeah. Is there a magic number that Iowa's defense has to hold Indiana below? 35,
I was
28?
25. But listen, Gronowski got the offense moving at least last week. They put points on the board. You got a return guy that can make magic happen. He's electric. Special teams can make a difference. Defense can get a couple turnovers. I love what Kluver was talking about last week with that Ohio State game. Like, you know, you walk into a game as an underdog, but then all of a sudden Amani Hooker takes back a pick 6 and you go, we can win this. We can do that. And then the other team starts to press. They get out of their game plan.
But
maybe
you're
possible
going to need
happens.
something like that, right?
Yes,
You're going to need a
kickoff
kickoff return. You're going to need a punt return. You're going to need an interception. You're going to need something that changes the dynamics of the game. To me, right now, Indiana's a better football team based on optics than what Iowa is. We're going to find man-to-man what they are on Saturday.
They scored 60 points on a top 10 Big Ten team.
And made it look easy. 515-517-2303. We'll take a break. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
School is back and summer vacation is over. With a year of school activities and drop-offs ahead, your tires will be working as hard as the students. Performing regular maintenance like tire rotate, balance, and alignment is key to prolonging the life and performance of your tires. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school special, $199.95 tire rotate, balance, and alignment to keep you rolling. To schedule an appointment, give us a call or schedule online at willisvolvocars.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. I wanted to take this opportunity to personally invite you to our Willis New Car Show on September 16th. This is your opportunity to visit us in our home for free food, drink, and entertainment. Please visit us on our socials for more details or stop in and speak to any of our associates. We hope to see you there.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you haven't been down to Willis Automotive lately, such a great selection of cars, new, used. I'm still looking at that Defender, Ross. Still justifying it in my head. And my wife is just, she can't do this to me. She goes, you just decide. I'm like, no, I'm not going to decide. It's going to be your car. I need you to drive it. I need you to pick it. So I sent her I was on the Willis website and found like 5 cars. I said, why don't you look at these 5, tell me which one you want. Or, we can go drive all these 5. Of course, the one she wants was the one I thought she would pick. She wanted the Cadillac Escalade. Not new. Let's get that one straight. Not new. But yeah, so make sure when you're car shopping that your first stop is Willis Automotive. You won't be disappointed at all with the great customer service and great service on the back end. Ross uses Willis for the service of his vehicle.
In fact, I'm headed there this morning.
Really?
Yep, headed in for an oil change, and I've had this weird thing happen, man, where it doesn't happen all the time, but when I get up above like 65, all of a sudden the wheel just kind of like vibrates a little bit.
You know what's going to happen? It might be that conversation again, Ross. It might be the conversation.
We offer great value on trade-in.
Yeah, great. We'll give you. And I
Listen,
understand
if they'd have hit me about 3 weeks ago, I'd have signed up. I've had a couple big bills come in lately. I'm like, oh crap, I'm poor again.
Damn government. Oh man. And you're going to Ireland here pretty soon too. So
yeah, I got a couple trips coming up here, man. I'm headed to Ireland in 2 weeks, and then about a month away from the Vegas trip with the boys. They were just talking about the golf course that we're going to be playing out there in Vegas.
When do you go to Ireland again?
2 weeks.
I know, but what are the dates?
Why'd you ask? I go the 8th. I go the 8th. I'm back the 14th.
Okay, because I'm in Phoenix on the 3rd.
So. I remember that we planned. I remember that we weren't.
Yeah,
we weren't at the same time. I remember that. Yeah.
But I'm only going to Phoenix for literally a day. It's fly in, fly out. So I'll be back in the saddle, and I was off that week. So the Black and Gold Rush we'll just be doing 2 hours of talking about college football that day. We talk beer a lot on this. When Bruno comes in on Thursday, and this might even come up, but I thought this was interesting, and it actually is going to sports. There's a new number one beer in the United States. For the longest time, Bud Light held that title, and everybody thought there's no way that Bud Light was going to get dethroned, and then they do the worst marketing campaign of all time. I'm not taking a stance on that. I'm just saying
it was. There's no doubt about it. It was a disaster of a marketing campaign.
It will be taught in college classes that to know your audience and know where your brand lies. Don't try to change what a brand is. So Bud Light was dethroned by Modelo, which I didn't know Modelo was that popular of a beer. I had no idea until they took over that top spot. Well, Modelo now has been dethroned. And the new number one beer in America is Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra has taken over as the number one beer in America.
Is that the tall, skinny can?
Yeah, it's water. It is water. This, they have the 85-calorie Mick Ultra. It's the low-calorie. I remember when Michelob, and I'm dating myself here, was like a man's beer. That was like tasted like Budweiser, but it had a fancier bottle, and it was like the Primo. That was like, and then they got into the Michelob Light, and then they found this niche with Michelob Ultra. And Ross, do you know what they credit their growth and success to? It's all sports.
Really?
It is all sports. Michelob Ultra is the worldwide brand of the NBA. They have sponsored now the FIFA World Cup. They have sponsored the LA Olympic Games, and they are the official beer of the PGA Tour. So they're saying, so what they dialed in and said, okay, who's our audience? Where does our audience really go to? And let's cater to that. And they have totally gone in on sports. It's not the, hey, you can lose weight. It's the healthy beer. I mean, it's still beer that tastes like water. But they said, okay, here's our audience. Here's where we can grow our audience. Let's go all in. So you're the worldwide brand of the NBA. I think the PGA Tour is huge. And I was at this event last night that I was emceeing, and I was just paying attention because I knew about this story. I could not believe how many people were drinking Mick Ultra. Does it surprise you that they credit sports for being the growth of the brand?
It very much does. There's a lot going through my head right now. And I want to share this. My buddy Carl posted this. Ladies love the Ultra. That's when you say Mick Ultra, I think my best friend Scott, his wife drinks Michelob Ultra. And so I think of it almost as like
it's
woman's
the beer
that
it appeals to both sexes. Because I think guys know that if you drink your IPAs and all that you can get a beer belly really quick. I stopped drinking beer. Look what happened to me. I don't drink beer at all. I drink a lot of vodka. And I moved to tequila now too. But I don't drink beer. I've got a beer fridge sitting right to my right that is stacked full, but it's for Dr. Rob because he drinks a lot of beer.
All right, how do I want to phrase this? Let's go back to the 80s when we were kids.
Yeah.
The one that was everywhere was Budweiser.
King of beers, the Clydesdales,
Budweiser
baby.
Sponsored NASCAR. It was you had that Bud sign, this Bud's for you. It was a Harry Carey thing. They owned the sports landscape. And it was almost like that's the connect. If you're a sports fan, you're a big beer drinker. And Michelob Ultra ran into that space. When Budweiser decided, okay, we'll do this other thing. We'll spend our marketing dollars in these other unique ways. Michelob
I don't even
Ultra
know what Budweiser does anymore. I don't.
They Shane Gillis. They have Shane Gillis drinking Bud Light everywhere he goes. And he constantly is holding it up, and I'm kind of sick of that too.
But Bud Light and Budweiser are they're two completely different beers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what Budweiser itself does anymore.
And by the way, Michelob Ultra is a Budweiser beer.
Yeah, it's an Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so you have a beer that appeals to the women. You have a beer that appeals to men. And maybe that's where you go into the sports world, the NBA, the PGA, and you say, hey, we can grow our male audience here by going all in here. And I think Modelo kind of fell into that too. Wasn't Modelo the official beer of UFC?
Could be. I don't know. I don't know, Trav. Where Modelo, that one surprised me too. When Bruno told us Modelo had taken over, I was like, what? I mean, I've had a Modelo. And then when we went fishing up in Canada in July, that's what Tyrell brought for his beer. I was like, damn, this is really popular. And he loved it. He said, and do you see, Justin says Modelo is also a Anheuser-Busch brand. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that either. Are you sure? I don't think that's, it may be owned by InBev, but I don't think it comes from the Anheuser-Busch breweries.
Nope. It is.
It's InBev or Anheuser-Busch?
Owned by Anheuser-Busch. Grupo Modelo is a large brewery in Mexico owned by Anheuser-Busch that exports beer to most countries in the world. They include brands like Corona, Modelo, and Pacifico.
Love me a good Pacifico with a lime in it. Only when I'm on the beach, which is never. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, when I have beer options, and again, I don't drink beer anymore, but I never went with the Mick Ultra just because it tasted like water to me. I was like, I'm not drinking anything here. And I needed a different koozie because it had the odd-shaped can that never fit into a normal can koozie. But there you go. The new number one beer in the world or in America is Michelob Ultra.
Some people have asked about Busch Light, but Busch Light is a regional thing. Busch is not, it doesn't get out to the, it's kind of like Coors used to be.
Yeah. Get outside your bubble of Iowa.
Yep.
And other people drink other things. Yesterday we learned, and we tried to get him on today, but he's traveling. And Ross, you have a much closer relationship with him than I do. And that's Sam Burnaby announced that he's stepping down as the general manager of the Iowa Cubs. He's going to stay on as the president, which just means he's riding into retirement. That's the way I'm interpreting it. But, you know, not just and Sam's been on the show. He was on here a while back. His longevity in minor league baseball, his longevity in the sport in general is really hard to come by. And well respected, I think, throughout the game from the minor league level, and I'm sure even at the professional level, just to go, man, what a contribution. What an amazing run as a general manager of the Iowa. And seen lots of changes. Lots of changes.
Oh, buddy, you go back. I mean, man, I just love that name, Sam Burnaby. I'm not kidding. It brings back so many cool memories from when I was a little kid and we would go down to old Sec Taylor Stadium with the dirt bleachers in the outfield by the bullpen. The old aluminum stands, the metal stands where when you stomped your feet, the people in the underneath it heard it. And that was one of the things that would happen, you know, when the Cubs would do good, people would stomp their feet and the metal bleachers would just reverberate. In every one of those memories, Sam Burnaby is standing on that concourse. In every one of them. Every game I went to when I was a little kid, and we used to go to all of them. My dad would point out Sam Burnaby, and he'd go, hey, Ross, see that guy standing down there? That's the general manager. And I think at the time, assistant general manager of the team, but someday he's going to run this team. And we would go down and thank him and you know what I mean? It was always something that we did was Sam was a part of those games for me as a kid at Sec Taylor. He was always there, always in a good mood, always approachable. Think about that. I mean, not just the longevity, but the consistency of that personality. That's hard to me, man. I blow with the wind. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a good mood. That's why I've always been really impressed with guys like Keith Murphy.
Yeah, you never know when Keith Murphy's in a bad mood.
It's amazing. I've never seen him in a bad mood. He's had to have had bad days. I've never seen it. As his friend, seeing him every day, I never once walked up to Keith and was like, man, life's wearing him down today. People see that on me from a block away. Like, oh, Jesus, Ross is getting beat up today.
You wear your emotions on your sleeve.
I do, and I can't, and it is the way it is. I don't choose to do it, and I wonder if that's the same thing with Keith. If Keith doesn't necessarily choose, or people like this, they don't choose to project that consistency. People like Sam Burnaby. It's just his personality.
Does your dad show his emotion on his sleeve?
Yes.
And so I think it's more of an upbringing thing. You and that's just, I mean, I look at the way I react, and sometimes I go, God, I'm my father. I don't want to be my father, but you know, I think it's
I
how
do want
you
to be, but
you know what I mean by
I know
that,
what you mean.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's certain traits of your parents you're like, oh, I inherited this. I wish I didn't have it because I didn't like it when I was growing up, and I don't like it now. And that
I'm
doesn't
glad
mean you
I'm
don't
not
like
a cigarette smoker. I'll tell you that. That's the one thing Dad does. I'm glad. I hope I
Does he
don't
still
ever-
smoke?
Dude, he's been dodging them lung darts since he was about 13.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's kept you alive so long? I smoked a pack of Lucky Strike a
Marlboro
day.
Lights. That's what's keeping me alive. JT Nutt, he was always outside the main gate. I'm telling you, man, there is something about that consistent part of memory. Every game I've ever been to, Sam Burnaby's a part of. There's probably a handful of times when I was down there and didn't see him. He either was off doing something else for the league or was up in his office. But man, you see him standing there on that concourse right by that exit that goes down to the main gate 90% of the time, and that's been that way for the last 40 years, more.
I think what you have to do, too, is give credit to the ownership groups that have owned the Iowa Cubs at various times, and hear me out. And that is, they knew what they had in Sam, and you just back up and let Sam do his thing. Sometimes ownership groups want to come in, reinvent the wheel. You know, we know what we want to do in minor league baseball. They didn't do that. They just said, oh, you're the right guy for the right job. You keep doing what you're doing.
And built that reputation into being a stalwart for minor league baseball, where when they have problems with minor league baseball, they reach out to Des Moines, Iowa, to Sam Burnaby, and they say, hey, we're wondering about your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, just a true and Randy Wayhover is going to take over as the general manager.
Yeah.
Again, Sam's staying on as president, but again, you look at the news clippings and everything, and you're like, oh, that's you're riding off into retirement. You're there to mentor maybe for a year or two.
Yeah,
and he kind of talked about it when he was on with us last earlier in the year. It's just like, you know, grandkids, life, gonna sit back and enjoy it a little bit. Yesterday, Major League Baseball approved the new ownership of the Tampa Bay Rays, or Tampa Rays. The team will sell for $1.7 billion, and a real estate guy's buying it. But man, you're walking into a hornet's nest with the Rays. You really are. You don't have a stadium in place. The deal is supposed to include non-relocation, but if you can't get a stadium, and you don't want to play in the Tropicana Dome. I mean, that place is an absolute dump, and the fan base doesn't like going there. You pay $1.7 billion for a team, and now you got to go ask the city, going, hey, well, we need a stadium. When you have Montreal going, pick us, pick us, pick us.
Do you think they move the team? Is part of buying it?
No, that was part of the
that
deal.
He has to stay?
Well, he doesn't have to stay, because it does become a financial model where you have to go to the other owners and say, I'm not making money here. I'm not getting a stadium here. I can't. And stadium deals are weird. And we know, I mean, the Bears are going to build a new stadium, and they say they're not going to take money from the state of Illinois, which is great. You like to hear that. But you also look at what L.A. has done. Atlanta is a good example. I think St. Louis is a good example of it does build up the tax base and everything else around the stadium. It's good. There's a good investment you can make the argument of why it's a good investment. I think there's a threshold. Like everything, there's a threshold.
Yeah.
But a new stadium does not just benefit the team, it benefits the community, but it's got to be done within reason. Tampa, They thought they had a new $1.2 billion stadium approved. They had the ground. And then all of a sudden, put on the brakes. Let's fix up Tropicana Field. We're fixing the roof. Why do we want to spend more money? Well, fans aren't going anyway. You need to and in today's world, this is why college stadiums are doing it in football. You add additional amenities because you want to make money off those. And you want to be financially viable. You want to be able to compete as a team. I just can't imagine having $1.7 billion and say I'm going to buy the Rays.
Buy a Hornet's nest.
Buy a Hornet's nest. Because you're playing in a single-A stadium while your current stadium, which is a dump, is getting fixed up.
Team worth $1.7 billion?
It'd be interesting. There's probably not a professional team in baseball.
If the Rays are $1.7 billion, all of them are $1 billion.
All of them are $1 billion. All of them are $1 billion. The current ownership bought that team for $200 million back in like 1995.
Jesus.
Makes you want to go, gosh, do we pull some money together and start some kind of professional team in Des Moines and cross our fingers and hope that it takes off?
How is that possible? You have the shittiest stadium in all of professional sports. You got one of the worst fan bases in all of professional sports.
And you're still worth $1.7 billion. And we're going to look back at this in 20 years and go, man, can you believe they picked up that team for $1.7 billion and they sold it for 12?
That's what you're right about that. In 10 years, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about the Rays selling for $1.7 billion?
Got that at well below market value.
Yeah, now it's $7 trillion.
Crazy amount of money in the world of sports. But they need a stadium. They need a lot of things. I mean, you're buying a fixer-upper. At 1.7, you're buying a fixer-upper.
That's crazy.
So, all right, buddy.
Fun day, brother. Thank you.
It was a fun day.
Weird day with my internet going out.
And then my internet didn't go out. I just disappeared. I don't know if Mick is going to join us tomorrow. He never answered my email. We want to talk the Jeep show that's coming up.
I bet he will be. Mick will be on with us.
All right. Everybody have a great Tuesday. We're going to be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Make sure to hit subscribe on that YouTube channel. Give this video a like. Don't forget, you can always find us on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, or the Rush Radio app. We're everywhere, including wherever you download your podcast. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA loans, along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
It's September in Iowa, and that means the Cy-Hawk game. And while you do have to choose between two teams, go Hawks, by the way, you don't have to choose between good service and competitive pricing. For the month of September, we have one of our best service packages for $299.99. This includes oil change,
tire rotation, brake fluid exchange, and additives. Get your Nissan tailgate ready with Willis Nissan. Schedule online or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.